Australia has stepped up diplomatic pressure on Beijing to release a prominent author and pro-democracy advocate who's accused of spying on the Chinese government. The Prime Minister, meanwhile, continued his busy travel schedule, brushing shoulders with world leaders at the G7 in France. This is the Week in Review.
After being held in a secret Chinese detention facility for 7 months, Yang Hangjun was formally arrested this week on suspicion of espionage. Friends of the former Chinese official turned democracy advocate are pleading with the government to help bring him home amid fears he's being tortured.
He has been held in a small cell with the light on 24 hours a day.
Despite China warning Australia to respect its legal processes, the government has made it clear Dr. Yang is not a spy and is urging Beijing to release him.
We are very focused on Dr. Yang's position and endeavouring to seek his release.
We have an Australian citizen who has been detained here. That is a very serious matter.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Scott Morrison has wrapped up his first ever G7 summit, still grappling with global issues. He used a meeting with the US president to urge caution in the ongoing trade war with China and reminded Donald Trump about the impact on Australia.
I mean, he's not unaware of these things either, whether in his own country or elsewhere.
World leaders are also struggling to calm tensions between the US and Iran, but Australia is vowing to maintain pressure on the regime with tough sanctions.
We support the sanctions. We maintain the sanctions there. We maintain the sanctions when it comes to North Korea as well.
On the domestic front, the coalition has unveiled its keenly anticipated draft religious protection legislation. Despite offering to shield Australians of faith from discrimination, many church leaders are still calling for religious freedoms that would allow them to discriminate in accordance with their beliefs.
The bill does not prioritise freedom of religion over other rights.
The Treasurer is also facing backlash over his call for big business to make long-term investments in growth and productivity rather than handing extra cash back to their shareholders.
Is a buyback always the best option for the future growth of the economy and the company?
Just telling business they need to invest more is not an economic policy.
In a moment of unity, both sides of the political divide came together to farewell Tim Fischer, a farmer, soldier, politician and father who made his mark as Nationals leader and Deputy Prime Minister. Thousands of people paid their respects to the boy from Boree Creek who took his final train ride before being laid to rest. Eliza Edwards, Sky News, Canberra.